how manifestation specifically relates to men, and how it is different for a man in terms of some of the ways in which this material can be used and applied, but it is the same process. It is the same process of life that is working to and through all of us, because gender is a social construct in our world, and it is not related to what and who we really are, which is this beautiful spirit, soul, undifferentiated energy flowing to and through each of us that makes us unique and different. But those social norms and those social constructs and the ideas that have been programmed into our mind are different. And so what that means is for women and for men, or however you identify, it may be a different way of embodying this material and coming from a different perspective and approach. So today I want to talk a little bit about how manifestation can be very, very powerful for men. And the reason I'm doing this a little bit separate is because the 4 years that I've been teaching this beautiful material, that I've embodied it and now teach it to people, I do things a little bit differently for some of the men that I've done one-on-one coaching for, and some of the men that are in our millionaire program or modern mentor program. We do approach it a little bit different, and we've noticed some differences. So with that in mind, I want to share some of this incredible learning with you guys today. So we're going to do a 2-hour masterclass. This will live on YouTube. There will be a replay, and you will get it sent out. So if you've missed it, if you have to leave partway through, you want to watch it again, you're going to be able to do that, no problem, without a shadow of a doubt. So just a little bit of what we're going to go over today. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit, tell you my background, how I started learning this material, how it's impacted my life. And then I'm going to introduce you to a few men that have been in my energy and in my world, who are very passionate about this work, that are going to support me in teaching this material to you guys today. And they're going to share some of their information. They're going to share their insights, and share with you a little bit about how they've applied this material and embodied it themselves from a male perspective. So you've got, a feminine teacher who has a lot of masculine qualities, of course, but you're going to hear from some men in that perspective as well. So you're going to hear from Darren, you're going to hear from Josh, you're going to hear from Demond, and hopefully we'll hear from Jax. Michael Jax is on an airplane, it got delayed, so we're hoping he'll be able to come in, but it's all working out in our favor. So whatever happens is what's meant to happen. So anyways, you'll learn about these beautiful men over the course of today, and how they can support you ongoing as well. The other thing that things that I'm going to talk about today are some dualities. And so historically speaking, the world has told us that in order for us to be successful, we must do the work. We must hustle, we must grind, we must get busy, we must go for it. The harder you work, the more you're going to achieve. Manifestation doesn't work that way. Manifestation isn't about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. And that certain way is also considered the effortless way. So effortless means less effort, not no effort, but it's actually creating more without doing more, having more without needing to hustle, spend more time, but by actually being more yourself, tapping into your innate powers. So I'm going to talk a bit today about how you can increase your power without tapping solely into your ego. Okay, so we're not going to go into that personal mind to do more, to grind more. We're going to build our internal power structures from the inside out. I'm going to talk about how you can attract and allow and call in without doing more. So without actually doing more of the work. And I'm going to talk about spirit, and how entering into the spirit prior to entering into the mechanical will help you to create way more for your life, which is really, really beautiful. So that's kind of how I want to go today. If you have any questions over the course of this live event, if you do put them into the chat on Zoom, if I see them and they're in real time, I'll try to answer them. If not, send them into a member of my team, and I will do a separate, if we get a lot of questions, I'll do a men's Q&A maybe next week or the week after, post it to the YouTube channel just to make sure we don't have any I'm seeing someone's whiteboard, Jen. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I don't know how to close that down. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So any questions, please send them into the team. I have several members of my team that will support you. So when we do these live events, you'll get reminders sent out to your emails, Zoom links sent out, the replay sent out, and someone from my team will reach out to introduce themselves to give you any information that you require to support you in any way. They are available to have a conversation. And so because we do have these 4 men here to support you during this masterclass, they're also here to hop on and chat with you about your goals. So if you have some dreams, if you have this best life that you want to live, if you really want to make a change, if you want to quantum leap your life, they are here to support you. So if you haven't heard from them, you haven't chatted with anybody on my team yet, in the chat box here, I'm going to put a link to our success support form. You just fill that out, give your email and your phone number, and then after this masterclass, they will give you a call to support you. Our goal here is to help you create more by doing less. Our goal here is to help your dreams come true into the physical 3D world. And so in any way we can support you to do that, you just let us know. Who is on here for the very first time ever seeing me teach live? If this is you, please in the comments. Oh, I see lots of hands. Fabulous. Joel, is it Theron? Did I say that right? Theron? Oh, what a great name. Okay, fantastic. Duke is first time, Brent's first time, Kelvin's first time. Beautiful. Okay, so let me share a little bit more about myself then, since it's your first time. So my name is Kathleen. I live in Toronto, Canada. I am actually in San Diego, California right now. I was hanging out on my morning walk with the seals and the sea lions. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm so grateful for this life that I live now, but it wasn't always this way. I was actually a registered nurse for 12 years. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's degree in nursing leadership. And so my life was really, really revolved around achieving more, getting the next promotion and moving my way up the healthcare corporate ladder. So, I had this dream that one day I would be a director with the provincial government with home care, and that hopefully I'll make $100,000 a year, have pension and have benefits. That was the Canadian dream, but the beautiful thing about that was that I did that. And I followed along that traditional path, and I had a lot of letters next to my name, and I was making 97 grand a year. I had a pension and I had benefits, but there was something missing. I was working real hard. I was working a lot of hours, always trying to achieve more. I wanted my life to become even more expansive than it already was. I wanted to help more people. I wanted to serve, but I also wanted better experiences. I would have loved more money. I would have loved to be able to travel more, to be able to take my girls to different places. I have 2 young kids. And what I found is the more that I tapped into that desire of more, I started to fall in love with the idea and the potentiality of achieving more. And, with my corporate healthcare job, I was in meetings all day long, no breaks, no lunch, coming home, putting the kids to bed, and answering emails, and then going to sleep. And then I decided to start a side business online. So this is the evidence of how I was following that path. I thought, well, I already work 40 hours a week in another job and get paid a full-time salary. So why don't I start a side business selling products online and start working another 4 hours a day on top of the 12 hours I'm already working, and just get a little bit more busier and hopefully make more money. And so that's what I did. I drowned myself under working almost every single moment of the day. And yes, I started to make a little bit more money in that side business. But something really magical happened when I made a decision to go all in on one thing. So in 2019, I quit my nursing career right before COVID, not knowing what was happening. And I decided to become a full-time online entrepreneur. And at that point, things shifted, and it shifted really, really quickly. And I started to go into some fear, and I didn't have a monthly paycheck coming in or a biweekly paycheck coming in. It was all now suddenly me. I didn't have the security of a full-time job anymore. And I got afraid, and I went into the old patterns. I went into, what am I going to do? How is this going to work? Where am I going to make the money? And my side business started to slowly go down. And then in September of 2019, I made a decision. I was going to focus on my mindset. I thought, that's it. I'm going to work on my mindset. And somebody invited me to a mindset training where I got introduced to Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. So just 4.5 years ago, I got introduced to Bob and I started learning about the law of attraction and manifestation. And from that point, my life has never been the same. It is completely different. I started to tap into a power within me that I didn't even know was there. I started to believe in something that I never believed in before. And I started to manifest things that almost feel magical at the time. This is magic, we say. I started manifesting more money, opportunities to, I wrote down on a piece of paper, I want to be on a TV show. I got invited to go on a local makeover show just out of nowhere. Suddenly, I wrote down, I'm going to be a best-selling author one day. Wouldn't that be cool? Somebody reaches out to me the next day and asks me, okay, do you want to write a chapter in my book on self-love? And I went, well, that happened really fast. All these opportunities started coming. And then I manifested a lump sum of money in the exact dollar amount I had been writing down, $21,795. And it's so fun because I wasn't attached to that. I just thought, let's try and do it. And I thought it was going to come through my business. It came through a different way. And I'll never forget when my coach at the time, I called her and I said, listen, she worked with Bob Proctor. And I said, listen, I just manifested the exact amount of money, like to the dollar amount. And she goes, just add a zero. And I went, oh, come on, just add a zero. 210,000? Really? And I did it. I added a zero and that money came within less than 6 months later. So my journey with Bob, I launched my coaching business in January 2020, partnered with him, and I made my first $1 million in 7 months and 3.3 million in my first year of business. So to go from making 97,000 a year to 3 million in 1 year flat through 6 months transformation of myself, that is a quantum leap. And then the next year, I sat down with my husband at the time, Chris, my father, Norm, he's on the call here too. Chris is on the call, and my mother, Wendy. And at the end of 2020, we wrote down what would we love to happen for 2021. And our goal was to make 10 million in 10 months in 10 ways. And we entered into the spirit of that idea, and we made $12 million the following year by embodying this material and this work. So one quantum leap led to another one, which led to another one. So I'm here to tell you that anything is absolutely possible, and I am evidence of that anything is possible here right now. But you've got to believe that that is available for you, and that's what I want to talk about today. So I sit here now, Diamond Academy is turning 4 years old on July 1st, and we have served over 100,000 people in our live masterclasses. We've had over 2,500 students enroll in our programs. We've created multiple millionaires, and I have an inner circle that has multimillionaires who are all moving towards becoming billionaires over the next little phase here. And it is a very, very inspiring, motivating place to be. I see Jose on here. We call him Billy. He's on here and he is doing the work, and it's beautiful. He's part of my inner circle. So I just wanted to start off by showing you the reality of what's available to you in life. And it isn't necessarily the way that I look or the education that I've had or the special talents and abilities I have for manifestation that have led me here. It's actually been my ability to understand and then embody this work that have led me to where I am today. Over the course of my 2 years when I had Bob in my life, he taught me so much, but he said something to me in an interview in his studio in 2021, and I've never forgotten what he said. It left such an imprint. He became a dear friend of mine and challenged me in so many ways, which I'm so grateful for. And I sat down next to him and I said, Bob, why me? Why did my life quantum leap the way that it did? And it doesn't necessarily happen for every single person. And you know what he said to me? He said, Kathleen, because you didn't just take this knowledge and leave it in your head. You didn't just know it. You integrated it into your life. You integrated into who you are. And it took me a little while to think about that. I was with my driver on the drive back up to my place after leaving his studio. And I thought to myself, what does he mean by integrate? What is that? And that's where the word embodiment came to me, because I said, you know what? I moved it into my body. I didn't just know it, but I moved it into my body. So it has become a part of who I am. Manifestation is not something that you learn to do. It is a way of life. It is a way of living this life. And what I can tell you is that the way in which all of us have been living this life, we call it the matrix. You know, you're living in the matrix. We were all taught that. And it's effortless and it's easy for you. It might not be comfortable. You might not like it and you might not like the results, but it is effortless, which means it's automatic. So what I help people to do is take this material, put it into the conscious mind first, understand it, examine it, question it. What do I want to believe to be true? What is the reality that I want to believe for myself for today? And then allow yourself to live from it effortlessly. Allow yourself to live from it automatically. Allow it to become the way in which you now live. And this is what we help people to do, which is really, really powerful and beautiful. There is a difference in some of the ways in which men will approach it. And the reason I wanted to do this masterclass was because there's a little thing that's been showing up a little bit in my world, and I wanted to talk about it and I wanted to address it. There is a very, very big community of manifestation on Instagram, on TikTok, even on Facebook, on YouTube. And a lot of it is women. A lot of men are teaching peak performance. They're teaching you mindset. They're teaching you how to grow and become better, things like that. It's beautiful. Personal growth and development. But it seems to be like the manifestation world is becoming a lot more like female dominated. We have a lot of women teaching manifestation. And a lot of men have said to me, I thought manifestation was for women. And even our community, we have 95% women in my millionaire program. But now we're seeing almost 10% men. Now we're getting to 90% women. So more men are like, wait a minute. So manifestation isn't for women. What's actually just happening is women are the ones that are like, wow, I'm going to go all in on this manifestation thing and are being more vocal about it. But men are still doing it. They're still understanding it and it's still happening. So I want us to really be able to tap in. And part of why manifestation works so well and why it is so powerful is because we're getting you out of simply being in masculine energy. So a lot of us women, when we started going into the workforce, we were like, oh, okay, so if we got to get a job, we want to get a job, we want to be independent, we want to make our own money, we want to contribute in this world. So let's be like the men. Let's tap into our masculine energy. So a lot of women have moved into this, including myself. I learned it from my mom and dad, which is beautiful. They moved into this hard worker mentality. My mom worked real hard, just like my dad, at home, but also at work. And my mom and dad shared duties at home. They both cleaned, they both cooked. Like that's my memory of it anyways, guys. But that's what I saw, was this partnership, this shared thing. But I saw my mom in her masculine energy. I saw my mom work real hard. She used to leave her lunch break and go and breastfeed me on lunch and then come back to work to be in all the meetings. She didn't take her full maternity leave because she didn't think she could, as a woman in the workforce trying to move her way up. Didn't take her maternity leave. She used to wear these little business suits, jackets, and skirts. And I even remember she cut her hair short. So this is where we've all gone. Men and women alike have moved deep into the masculine energy. And so where the magic happened for me is tapping into the feminine energy that existed within me. And this does not mean female. It means feminine. It's a duality. So masculine energy is the doing, the hunting and the gathering. The feminine energy is the holding space, is the nurturing, is the being, is the softness. So I don't want us to get caught up in the language of feminine energy. For a real masculine man to be like, I'm going to tap into my feminine energy today, might not resonate with you. It might not align. Your mind might be like, what is she talking about? So what I want us to consider then is tapping into the spiritual. Okay. It's tapping into the spiritual, tapping into your innate powers within. We don't have to say feminine, but I want to say that when I do say feminine, I'm meaning energetics. I'm meaning softness, lightness, spirituality. I'm meaning the ability to surrender. I'm meaning mindset work. I'm meaning nurturing new ideas in your mind. That's what I mean. So let's say it's spiritual and mechanical. Let's say it's the softness and not so much of the hardness. It's the allowing and the receiving instead of the hustle and the grind. So it's really fun when you start to see a man that has been really taught to be in his masculine, to allow some of those energies to come in, the spiritual, the softness, the lightness, the fun, the joy, to come into his life. And men do have feminine energy and qualities within them. It's part of the yin and yang of each and every one of us. And I think about seeing a man with his daughter, snuggling her on the couch. He's in his feminine or softer energy. When we see a man who's nurturing his wife and asking her how she's feeling and taking care of her and buying her flowers, what's he doing? He's tapping into the softness, to the holding of the space, to the loving energy that he holds, just in a masculine way. And so this is what I want all of us to see, is that we can actually be in this balance of all of these energies, and it makes us so powerful. And I know when we talk about at the end of this call, we're going to talk about some of the ways we can support you going forward. We're really going to talk about the power behind moving out of this toxic masculinity and moving into grounded masculinity. This is how to lead and to provide, but to do it from a really powerful place, to be empowered while you do it, which is really fun. I want to bring up in 1 minute Darren, but first I want to read something from one of my favorite books that Bob suggested and recommended to me. It's called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This book is very short, it's very concise, it's very, very crisp, but it will change the way in which you see your life. And it is a beautiful book about manifestation. So this entire book talks about not how does a man work harder to get what he wants. It actually talks about how does a man tap into his powers within more so that he can change what he receives in his life. There is a beautiful feminine version as well that you can find of this book that is, As a Woman Thinketh, that somebody switched around, but I just use different language. So if you are a woman on here, you can just change it. When I'm reading it, I know that man means all and not necessarily a man. Oh, Craig just read the book. Oh, no coincidences, Craig. Never. You're being guided and led down a path. This is really fun to see. Okay, so one of the things that I want to read from here, I don't know if you guys are going to want to know the page. Doesn't really matter. Okay, man's mind is likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth, if no useful seeds are put into it, that abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. So you must weed out all the wrong, useless, and impure thoughts and cultivate towards perfection the flowers and fruits of right, useful, and pure thoughts. This is manifestation. So to manifest means to understand that what you believe to be true will always be your truth. You do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe you are. So if you believe you are an angry man, an inauthentic man, if you believe you are a man that is not worthy, that isn't sensitive enough, or you are someone that doesn't believe in their power, if you see other men and you think, oh, I would never be able to do that, that's crazy. What are you manifesting forward? You're not stepping into your power. So when I use the word empowerment, I love that word so much. I'm not talking about the world empowering you. I'm not talking about the world validating you and saying, yes, you are good, you are amazing, you will achieve. It's empowerment from the inside out. It's empowerment to say, I'm going to empower myself, tap into the greatness that is within, and allow myself to be empowered in a state of power. What's the opposite than a state of power? To be in a state of weakness, to believe that you're less than, to be suppressing instead of expressing, to be smaller than you really are. Every single one of us has a Toroidean field. We have an energy field that expands from us. When we say that, we're using the law of attraction. What do we mean by that? We mean that this energetic field that is emanating from us, we are made of energy, and we have this beautiful field emanating from us. So imagine someone, a man who doesn't think he's good enough, a man that doesn't even bother trying, a man that is seeking outside validation, a man that's given up on himself and his dreams. What's his Toroidian field like, his energy field? Is it really powerful and magnetic? Do you walk by that man and go, oh, I want to spend some time with him? Not necessarily. But when you come across a man who is in his power, when you come across a man who knows his worth, that considers himself to be a high value man, is confident, is authentic, is genuine, is caring, who really believes in himself and the world and wants to serve others, what's his energy like? What's his Toroidian field like? Magnetic. You're like, I want to get to know him. What is he doing? I want to spend time with him. I want to be friends with that guy. That's what I mean by the law of attraction and the power of who you are. It becomes magnetic. Oh, Mandez. Of course, Mandez has been following me for some time. He's been tapping into this energy in such a beautiful way, and his life is changing before his eyes. It really, really is. And it's beautiful to watch this and witness this transformation. But he is really embodying what I'm teaching him. And what's really beautiful too is the power behind emotional regulation, you guys. Okay. So manifestation, I say, is a feeling game. It's an emotional game, right? So to attract, you attract based on the feeling of who you believe you are. So you've got to know what you feel about yourself every single day. You've got to know what emotions you hold and you carry. Do I feel sad today? Do I feel empowered today? Do I feel useless today? Or do I feel successful today? Do I think I'm a failure? Or do I think I'm wildly and massively successful? Do I think people are interested in what I have to say? Or do I just think I'm another ant on the anthill, moving around every day and doing what I'm supposed to do? It matters, and it makes a difference. And so this is why, men historically have been taught to hide their emotions. Men don't cry. But you're not using a power that you have that is so special and so important and will allow you to tap in to the power within you. Because when you start feeling your emotions and you start using them for good, you will see just how powerful you can become. Okay, anyways, read this book. It's really powerful and beautiful, and it'll serve you in so many different ways. I would love to bring up Darren Gibson, please. Darren Gibson. I want to have a chat with Darren. Oh my gosh. Darren and I have known of each other for a long time. We both started in Bob's World, but our energies have recently collided again in a beautiful way. And I would love, Darren, maybe if you just want to share a little bit of your history with Bob, how you knew him, your relationship with him, and a little bit, whatever you feel called to share.
Well, I'm scared to now because your story was just out of control. I mean, it was just amazing. I didn't know you had all that success and doing just phenomenal. That's awesome. But I'm really excited, Kathleen. Thanks for having me. I've been working with Bob since 2014. And if you're a man on the line like myself, I was not looking for personal growth at the time. When I first found out about Bob, had no clue who the heck he was. I met a multimillionaire. His name's Brad, one of my great friends today. He was being mentored by him. His whole family were multimillionaires, and I just want to know what he knew, And he asked me the question, "Have you read the book The Secret or saw the movie The Secret?" I'm like, I didn't even know there was a secret. No, I never read the book, never saw the movie, and that's when I flew out to the Science of Getting Rich back in 2014. Literally changed my life. Like night and day. Was blessed to work with him and his wife, Linda Proctor, for about 8 years now. I actually moved out to Toronto for a few months before the pandemic hit. So Bob was not just a mentor to me. He was more like a father figure. For some of you that may know me, they were like father and mother to me. So, but they have changed my world dramatically. So I appreciate it. And now I'm linked up with Kathleen, and I'm excited to make some more magic with you.
Yeah, so beautiful and powerful. If you had to say In the time that you spent with Bob learning about, I don't think Bob would have ever called it manifestation, but for me, we're talking about Goris, we're talking about Bob Proctor. So Bob Proctor was one of the greatest teachers of law of attraction and human potential in the world. He spent 60 years teaching this, and he was on the movie The Secret. He was on Ellen DeGeneres' show, a bunch of other things. But he really was like a grandfather of law of attraction. And he
Mhm.
wouldn't have said manifestation. That's a language that I really like to use. But when you were learning directly from him, what would you say was like, from a man's perspective, what do you think made this work different than traditional like mindset work?
It wasn't motivation. It was really tapping into your spiritual self, like you said, Kathleen. And I believe that a lot of individuals don't know how to bring the conscious or the information from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, and really finding out how to get a clear desire, because you don't get what you want, you get what you get what you picture, right? So or whatever you tune into, you turn into. So Bob has always really trained my mindset to just tap into the spiritualities where you can attract who you are, not what you want.
Yeah, yeah. You turn into what you tune into. I haven't heard that before. That's really cool. And tune into is powerful because if we think about law of attraction and energy and the power behind manifestation and calling in a new experience to you, I'll never forget when I was in network marketing. I used to think like, okay, I'm an okay leader. I think I can lead a team. And so what ended up happening is like I would attract some people, but I would attract people that would kind of believe in themselves a little bit. They'd be like, oh yeah, I think maybe I could do this. And
Yep.
then when I started learning from Bob, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm an incredible leader in my network marketing company. Like I recruit like a boss. I really started to believe in my leadership abilities. And then I started bringing in people who would be like, yeah, I can do this.
Mhm.
So what's your experience? Like what kind of identity or self-concept did you build that helped you attract different people into your life?
I used to study when back in network marketing, used to study books about it, and Bob told me to stop studying them. He said you want to start studying you. And when I started studying me, a quote comes to mind: "Empty plates can't feed hungry people." So you got to make sure that you have food on your plate for you to attract the people that you want to attract. So it was really a self-image thing for me. When I first started, I was like a self-image was low to the floor, like like a pregnant ant. You can't get lower than a pregnant ant, right? So, and here it is, my self-image was down here, and all I had to do was change the way that I look at myself, and that's when I changed the people that I attract in my organization.
Yeah, and I know you've built very, very successful teams in the network marketing industry using this work. And
Yep.
so, do you think that people saw in you this new self-concept and identity and were attracted and resonated with that? Do you think that's what contributed to a lot of your success?
Yeah, but again, I had to change the way I looked at myself. I'm big on self-image. I'm big on, because that's what Bob really worked on. The way that we dress, the way that we talk, the way that there's a good book that comes to mind, Hung by the Tongue. There's certain things that we say to ourselves that we're cursing ourselves. So I just trained my brain or trained myself to start speaking good things about me. And I started to attract the right people. I started changing the words that I was saying. Instead of saying I have a good day, I'm having a phenomenal day. I'm having an awesome day. I don't even put good in my vocabulary anymore. So there's different things that I changed up, the small things that made the big difference. And that's when I started attracting the right individuals.
Would you say that you're a spiritual person, Darren? Like, do you tap into that spiritual energy?
Absolutely. Yeah. My dad's a preacher. Mom and dad have their own marriage ministry. So I grew up in church. So when I got with Bob, everything kind of, was just in alignment with all the stuff that I was being taught. And I'll never forget when I came to my mom and dad's house, I'm like, hey, this is what Bob Proctor taught me. She's like, Darren, we've been teaching you this, but my mindset wasn't ready for it, right? It was filtering out based on the self-image that I had. And then when I grew my self-image, that's when we get to receive the things I really want to receive.
Yeah. And isn't that so interesting? This is something that I hear from people all the time. They'll say, Kathleen, like, you're teaching me this, but I feel like I've heard it before, but I
Mhm,
didn't necessarily believe it to be true then.
mhm,
Now I'm feeling the truth of it. I spent some time mentoring with Neil Donald Walsh. He wrote the Conversations with God series. And one of the things he said to me, I said, every time I read your book, Happier Than God, I want to cry, Neil. Like
mhm,
it actually, and not sad cry, not depressed, not unmotivated. Like it feels right. And
mhm,
he said to me, Kathleen, that's the feeling of truth operating in you. So when truth is operating in you, it feels like joy, it feels like love, it feels like peace, it feels like excitement. It even will raise the vibration you're in. So if you're feeling your insides kind of start to like go, oh my God, you're starting to get lit up, you're starting to get excited. It's
mhm.
because truth is operating in you. So you're remembering this information. It's been hidden by the old patterns and programs that taught us that what people think of us matter, and it really, really doesn't at all.
I like what
So
Bob said. He says, it's not so much we have to learn more, we have to unlearn some of the things that we've been programmed. And like you talked about your, the income that you've made. And when I was at, a six-figure rank or $1 million a month, whatever the case may be, it was all a mental shift. It wasn't, and maybe you learned some new skills, but it was all really a mental shift of the way that I looked at myself, and everything else happens in a good way.
yeah, it's so beautiful. And that's the ripple effect, right? It starts from the inside out. Most of us believe that we're creating our life from the
Hmm.
outside in. And most people are in fact doing that. So they're observing what's happening in their life. I don't love the word results
Hmm.
because we're not a result. But for the purposes of this masterclass, I'll use it. But you'll look at your outside results. So whether you got the promotion, whether you got the raise, whether you're making more money, whether you're making sales in your business, you'll look at that and then you'll determine your worth based on that. Oh, I'm making a good amount of money this month. Okay, I'm good.
Hmm.
Oh, people are joining my business. Oh, okay, I'm worthy. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm a good leader. A bunch of team members leave. Oh, I'm a bad leader. Oh, next month you don't make as much money and you're like, oh, look, I'm not, see, I don't know how to make money. I'm not good.
Hmm.
It's not about what you observe in the world. It's the idea that you plant in the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the womb of creation, which means this is where you plant that seed. You get impregnated with a new idea. So you're talking about your self-image, Darren, and how you created new ideas. You put them in the subconscious mind and you became him. And then guess what? More money comes, more success comes, better relationships come, more love comes, more self-love comes. And then you'll see you create your best life around you based on the new ideas. So that's what we're saying is, but you've got to uncover the old ideas and then replace them with new ones. And you got to be really honest with yourself.
Hmm.
So you seem to be self-aware, Darren, about who you believe you are and your impact on this world. For somebody that's a little less aware, how would you tell them to go within and to be honest with themselves about who they think they are today?
First of all, if you're brand new on this call, it's not going to take one time for your life to change. You're going to have to change your environment. You're going to have to remember, changing your mindset is not a microwave; it's a crock pot. It takes time. You have to put yourself in and keep listening to, people like Kathleen, some of the leaders that's going to be helping you out. And like I said, what you tune into, you turn into. So over time, things will start to shift for you. Things will start to, because we have a lot of viruses, Kathleen, that we're not even aware of, right? So it's very important that we have to be around individuals that have proven results, that have the thing that's doing the thing that you want to do, and just stay put and what you never know what's going to happen for you in a big, big way. So I would say change your environment, you change your whole life. That's what's really happened for me, because you're
Yeah.
literally reprogramming your brain. And it may be the same stuff you just said, Kathleen, that somebody, you were talking to somebody and they said, I've heard this before. Well, maybe your mind was not ready to accept it at that time, but through time, day by day, watch what happens when it comes to the information.
Yeah, beautiful. And Darren, I just want to address a question that was in the chat because I think this is really, really, really helpful. So I think it's Kawan, if I'm saying it. But if
Yeah.
society shows you you're less than, how do you combat that energy? So you have to start challenging the understanding of your reality.
Mhm.
The understanding of your reality. So in that question, your reality is that society is showing you that you are less than, which means you've accepted that belief. And now you're operating from an assumption that you're less than because society says so. So question that, be critical. Is it true that I am in fact less than? No, nobody is. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. We are not our race. We are not our gender. We are not our age. We are not what we look like. We are actually source energy flowing to and through us, a soul. We are a bright light. So anything that has been conditioned, it's conditioned awareness in the subconscious mind that says that we're less than, and we accept that belief, becomes who we think we are. So whether society says it or not, you can change the belief. For me, I've always been a plus size woman. When I launched my coaching business in January of 2020, I was over 300 pounds. And I believed that that made me less than. The outside world said, you're fat, so you're wrong and you're bad. And so you need to lose weight in order to be successful. And then I went, hold on a minute. Is that really true? Am I less than? No. And so I changed the belief. And I decided that I am beautiful and perfect in the body that I am in now. And that's it. I'm going to be successful. And guess what? Success came. So Kawan, it's changing the idea, examining, is it really truth? And realizing that you can actually eradicate that belief completely and allow yourself to flourish. Will some of these societal limitations that exist in some of our structures still exist? Yeah, but you'll become less aware of them, less limited by them, and you will remove that limitation from your mind. Darren, anything else to say to Kawan about that?
Yeah, that's why, I often say ideas are like muscles. Either you use them or you lose them. And you got to keep your mind is a mental muscle. Remember, you don't see with your eyes, you see through your eyes. You see where cells and recognition in your brain. And you see based off the ideas, like Kathleen just said, based off the ideas that we literally programmed ourselves to believe. And we have all these crazy programming systems, right? Like you just said, I'm overweight, I can't be successful. There's somebody that's too skinny that think that they can be successful. There's people, I'm too black, I'm too white, I'm too orange, I'm too, whatever the case may be. We all have some type of programming system that's trying to hold us back. And what you got to do is what we call a terror barrier, just push through it.
Yeah, change it. And just really question the belief. Is it really, really true? And everyone in my community will know I ask the question, oh, okay, so according to who? Like, who says I'm less than? Like, who's the governing body that's over top of me telling me whether I'm a good person, a bad person? You get to decide, which is really, really freeing once you realize that like all forms of human suffering exist in the mind, and you can release yourself from that prison at any time. Darren, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on here and sharing your knowledge. You have a lot of really great information, and I'm glad to be a part of this. We have something we're going to talk about at the tail end of this call that he's going to partner with me on. So stay tuned for how you can get involved with that more near the end of this call. Darren, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kat.
You're so welcome. We're going to move over. We're going to pivot a little bit. So Josh, I'm moving over to Michael Jacks a little bit. So Michael Jacks, I want to bring on, he's with us as well. He is in between flights at the airport. So I think he's in Qatar. Is that where you are?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
It's so good to see you. So
It's so great to see you too.
we're going with the flow today, which is fun. Michael has been in my energy for probably a year now, maybe.
Yeah, about that. Maybe just under a year.
Yeah, and he reached out because he wanted to really tap into his power and the strength of this material, and to be able to really, really embody it in an even bigger way. He is a very, very successful, powerful man, and he's been in the Millionaire program, so he knows how I teach this work and this material. But why don't you share with the audience who might not know you, just some of the things that this work has allowed you to accomplish in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. And first, I want to say, Darren, that was amazing. First, Kathleen, you just, everyone can get everything that they need from them two speaking, and you probably don't even need to hear from myself or anyone else. We're just going to be bonuses. That was great, Darren, and thank you again, Kathleen. I've spent a lot of time in this space of just personal development and To shorten it up, my time going from living in Brooklyn. I'm born and raised in New York. If maybe you can't hear necessarily the accent or not, but I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And when I was in junior high school, just to give you an example, my neighborhood had the highest murder rate in the United States. To give you an example, to where I was able to change my life in a very dramatic way, and be able to financially, change my life in a very dramatic way. And the reason why I say that and give you that contrast is because for many people that may seem like, well, how do you go from really not having anything as a child to then, growing up to being an adult to, almost achieving everything that you want. I mean, I think it's kind of impossible to achieve everything that you want because life is very long, and, levels of achievement can be rated in different ways at different points of your life. But the way I was able to do so was being able to tap into what Kathleen teaches. Now, even though me and Kathleen just recently met about a year ago, it's very important for me to share with you guys a little something of why me and Kathleen's relationship has been so important and so powerful in my life. So I went from a zero, right, as a child, quote unquote, to then being a relatively successful adult. And then guess what happens? This is going to happen to a lot of you if it doesn't happen already. Life happened to me, and I was hit with a crossroads in my life. And when some of us are in a situation where we feel like we don't know what to do next, we don't know where to go. How is it that I was able to have so much, and then now I'm looking at my bank account and my career and saying, what do I do next? And the first ever phone call that I had with Kathleen, but she may not necessarily realize how life-changing it was. And I want to kind of bring you guys into that space for a second in that moment. I called Kathleen, right? And we were introduced by mutual people that we know. And I just started to, I think we're both similar in the sense, very transparent. We got right to the point, very direct. And I said, Kathleen, here's my situation. I don't know what to do next. And the first thing that she did, she pulled out a book. Okay. And when she pulled out this book, ladies and gentlemen who's on the call right now, it doesn't matter what the book is or who was the author of the book. She also mentioned the author's name, by the way, or a little bit earlier. But here's what I want to tell you. When I saw her pull the book out, okay, so many things started to align back in my life. That might be confusing for some of you on a call right now. But what do I mean by that? When I saw her pull this book out, immediately, I started to think back, and I'm like, that's why I'm in a situation that I'm in right now. I'm in a place of confusion, not knowing what to do next. Business slipped. Career is in a transition because I lost track of that inner work. And when she pulled that book, Kathleen, when you pulled that book out, just pulling the book out, and she went directly to a page and started reading. She was like, Jex, when I started to feel it, she just started going through the book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wow! It took for me to get on this call and then start to really get connected with what she's teaching, to get back into a space of where now, I was worried for a second. I didn't know whether or not I was going to be able to actually jump on a call because of the time and my current situation with these flights. But it worked out perfect, because I was in that space now. Now I'm on a layover heading to Singapore. I'm in Doha's international airport in Qatar, which is, I just pan around. It's one of the most stunning places I've ever been in my life. But I'm going to Singapore to go speak for a real estate brokerage doing well over $1 billion a year in revenue, and they asked me to come help them expand internationally. So I know I said a lot, but I wanted to give you guys as much as I could before I get on the next flight. But I wouldn't be here even in this airport right now if it wasn't for that phone call with Kathleen.
I think what you just said to every single person on this call is so powerful and impactful. And I want to just make sure that they really get the message of this. Like your life went down a path where things appeared to be going badly. Things appeared to be, like some would say, was falling apart, or, in like your rock bottom. And in that moment, you followed and trusted your intuition to be introduced to somebody. You called me, you know, you were introduced to me by somebody else. You called me, got on a call with me, not knowing why or what the purpose was or anything. You were guided. You followed the guidance. And then as soon as I pulled out a book, you realized my life is appearing to go backwards because I am now living from the outside in instead of from the inside out. And so pulling out that book, it wasn't what was in the book. It was the fact that I reminded him, wow, when I was getting all my successes and building that huge team, how many people were on your network marketing team at one time? This is a big
140,000.
140,000 people on his network marketing team. That's, and you were studying yourself then, weren't you?
Absolutely. Without question. It was, I mean, a giant portion of my life. And as success came and you start buying things, right, and you start just living life for the flesh, right, externally, sometimes you can forget what got you there. And I definitely fell down that path where I kind of forgot. And it wasn't purposely either. It just kind of happened. And that day with you on the phone just changed everything for me. And then we've continued the relationship, and it's been, you know, even more so ever since. And we're going to continue to march on. You're going to add me to that billionaires list too.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm working with a billion dollar company, but now we're going to take it up a notch.
Yeah, well, I hired myself another coach. He does billions in deals and he's pushing me, and it's exactly what I need. It's beautiful. What I also want to just make sure that people understand too, Jax, is that there is an importance of being around people that help you to stay in the energy and the vibration of personal development. And so when you do have coaches and mentors and you're taking courses and programs, you're a part of a community of people that it becomes a way of life. And that's why I've built my academy, is because I know how important it is to give people a space. Sometimes it's a physical in-person space. Yes, I do retreats and live events and stuff, but a energetic space to hold for one another, to say, my goal is to help you achieve your goals by helping you to have the common habit of going within, so you don't lose sight of it. And so this is why some people will come and they'll learn from me, and then they'll leave for 6 months to a year, and then they come back again because they're like, oh, having this community of empowered and inspired individuals studying themselves just reminds me to live this way. So anybody that isn't a part of a growth community like that, what would you tell them, Jex?
It's important. I mean, it's very important that they have to align themselves with people who are at least, you know, if they're not, I'll just be direct. They have to be in a certain community or friendship circle that want the same things, man. I mean, when you pick up the phone, and I'll touch on this really quick. Distractions are everywhere. You know, when you pick up your phone and most of us right now in 2024 in the world we live in, we pick up our phones and we jump on social media. Every post is a distraction, and it's a distraction to like deter you off of, you know, a certain vibration. And when you then get off of your phone and then you call up a friend or a family member, sometimes sadly it could be your spouse, right? When you have all of these distractions around you, when you get a chance to really recharge in that frequency and that vibration that can get you on that path. Now, it's not the other person or friend or that vibration's responsibility. It's your responsibility to reach out and attach yourself to it. But when you're not, one, aware of it, and number two, not seeking out or having any of that around you, it is so hard to really dial into what you really want out of life. And it's so easy to just kind of fall back and be in a circle of just, there's so many people that are in the world. I mean, 98%, there's a saying, right? They say 98% of the population, by the time they're the age of 65 years old, they will be either dead broke, or dependent on friends, family, or the government for financial resources. And there's 2 to 5% of the world's population by the time they're the same age of 65 years old will be either rich and or financially fit, non-dependent on friends, family, or the government for any sort of financial resources. Why is that? So that means that almost every single I'm in this airport right now. God knows how many people are here going somewhere in the world. That means that 95 to 98% of the people in this airport right now are just kind of wandering. So you've got to go do that work to go touch base and figure out who else is in that path with you to go shake the world and do some major things, because there's not that many people that want to do that. You have something burning inside of you that you know you want to accomplish, and it's very easy to get knocked off of that, that path of accomplishing what you want with all of the distractions. Aligning with someone like yourself and what you've brought to this table, I mean, it makes it a lot easier for those individuals to do so.
Yeah, and I always say to people, get into my community, get into my energy. Like, and it's not coming from a place that I think that I can like save the world and, here I am gathering you all up to do it. It's just, I know from what I've experienced in the past 4 years, people that are in my community, in my energy, coming on my weekly calls every week, those millionaire calls that I do every single Wednesday at 1:30, those will keep you in the energy and the community of personal growth and development and spirituality, and keep your mind focused upon what you would love instead of what's going wrong. And it literally just brings your power out. And it should be essential, honestly, in your life. It's life changing. Jax, thank you so much for coming on. He's also going to be a part of something that we're doing for men. I'll talk about in a little bit. Get onto your flight, have a safe flight. I'm so grateful you reached out to me that day and had that conversation. You called a woman from Canada in one of your lowest moments, and you're turning life around, which I think is really fun. So I believe in you, and thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom with us today.
Thank you, Kathleen, for all your help. Hope everyone has a great day, and wish me a safe flight, everybody. Thank you. All right.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
You've already landed safely in my mind. You're in Singapore, enjoying it, loving it.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. I want to talk about I want to talk about a concept real quick before I chat with the other two gentlemen, Demond and Josh. One of the things that I have really, one of the concepts or the dualities that I've tapped into, I've started to utilize, that has changed my entire life, is this idea of being in the spirit of something before you're in the mechanical of something. So the message here isn't necessarily that. The message is that when you take spirituality and personal growth and development and you combine it, so enter into the spirit of an idea and then take action on that idea. So the mechanical or the masculine is the taking action piece. The spiritual is the understanding, is the tapping into the higher power, is the thoughts within your mind. It's the feeling of who you are. It's the subconscious patterns. So when you enter into the spirit of an idea and then you take action on the idea, that is where you are in your greatest power. This is when you are fully empowered. And this is where you are directing and guiding source energy. So all of us are one with the greatest creative power or source energy power that exists. Some people call it universe. Some call it source energy. Some call it God. Whatever the understanding for you is, I want you to know that believing that there is a greater energy source power that is working to and through you, being guided by your thoughts, will make you very, very powerful. If you believe you are a human in this like meat suit, just walking around, taking mechanical action every day, doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to live a little bit of a less fulfilling life. You're going to think that, you're going to be tied to the human experience and miss out on this whole spiritual experience that is happening to and through you at every single moment. So to enter into the spirit of an idea, let me give you an example. I love to use the football example, and normally I'm talking to women, and so they resonate with it a little bit, but here I get to use this example to a room full of men, which is really great. So when we think about Sunday night football, you might take action by putting the game on, and so you put the game on and you're maybe on your phone while you're watching it, or you're doing something around the house with the football game on. So yeah, you're watching the game, but you're not in necessarily the spirit of the game. But let's think about Super Bowl Sunday. You cook food, you get dressed up, you wear your jersey, you invite friends over, you put the game on, everybody sits and watches. The women wait for halftime show and the men watch the game. I'm generalizing. But you've entered into the spirit of the game. So yeah, you're watching the game in both instances, but one, you're making it a big deal. It's special. It's important. It's powerful. You're giving it your focused attention, your energy, your vibration. And then the other one, you're just kind of, oh, it's on in the background, whatever, whatever. So that's what I want us to see. So how are you living this game of life right now? Are you living life, or are you in the spirit of living life? Are you getting dressed up and putting on the face makeup and making the dinner and romanticizing and loving and living? Are you fully engaged in the spirit of what this beautiful life has to offer you? Because if you want the best that life has to offer, you have to offer the world your best. That's Neil Donald Walsh. So by me becoming my best and being spiritually aligned, tapping into source energy, knowing my connection to God is there every single day, that I am supported, that I am being guided, that I have the free will to create and choose my reality with God's will, with God. So I direct and source and guide source energy by who I'm being every day. So when I say I am going to show up today and I'm going to be my absolute best, and I am going to be in the spirit of this life, I'm going to be in gratitude, I'm going to be in love, I'm going to be in joy, I'm going to show up as my best. I'm going to see all the beauty that is all around in this world. And then I say, God, I would love to serve more people today in this energy. I am showing God that I am here, that I am ready, that I am available, that I am showing up as my best. And so God says, yes, Kathleen. Yes, Kathleen. And that's how I see this work. Spirituality meets personal growth and development. So if someone is spiritually inclined only, it's not manifestation. You're spiritual. So you believe in something outside of yourself. You have faith in it. You maybe worship or serve a higher power. You're spiritual. Maybe you meditate. Maybe you visualize. Maybe you do some rituals. Maybe you do some grounding work, whatever that is. But when you add in the personal growth and development piece, this is where you understand source energy responds to who you are being. And so you choose to become better. You choose to become better. So this is where you identify parts in your life where you don't think you're good. You don't think you're well. You are flawed in some way. You think you're not good enough. You find all those limiting beliefs and you rewire them and you reprogram them from spirit, because you want to be a better member of humanity. So when we say that the most attractive energy in this world that is magnetic is authenticity, this means tapping into your authentic self, tapping into the best of yourself. That's my second book that I wrote, The Best of Yourself, the grandest version of you that ever existed. This is where you become a better husband, you become a better father, you become a better leader. You step into a version of yourself that you have not yet been. You remember that that version of you exists. So this is what I mean by manifestation and tapping into feminine energy. It's the softness, it's the surrendering, it's the lightness, it's the love, it's the joy. It's actually taking some of that edge off. You know, a lot of men have been taught to really be in their ego a lot. And I don't mean ego like thinking you're the best. I mean ego thinking that you're not good enough. And, you know, for a man to be vulnerable and to say, yeah, I don't think I'm good enough, is not something that a lot of men are willing to say or have had a safe space to say it. So today, at the end of the call, I'm going to talk about a safe space that we're creating here at Diamond Academy for men to learn amongst other men. So stay tuned. I know we have some millionaire students on here already that are excited for this. Robert is on, Johnny is on, Jose is on, Corey is on. So the second week of July, we'll be starting our first men's embodiment session. I think it's like the week of July 7th. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you more about it. I want to talk to Demond for a minute. Can we bring Demond up, please? Demond Coleman, where is he? Okay, is he still here? Oh, there he is. Hello, Demond. Where in the world are you?
I am in Houston, Texas. Great morning.
Good morning. Demond is a very persistent man, and that is a very good quality to have. He's now a member of the Diamond Academy family, so he is on our team, and he has had so many beautiful successes in his life. And we had a good convo yesterday, and he shared that this idea of spirit versus mechanical has really, really helped him to accomplish many of the things he has. So maybe you want to talk about some of those things with us, Damon, today?
Absolutely. And first and foremost, I just want to say amazing job, Darren and Jex. I mean, they were just awesome in terms of this information, how it's affected and, really changed our lives. And Kathleen, I got to tell you, persistence is one of the things that I learned is one of the top two characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. And so starting off on this personal development journey, I've learned a lot, I've earned a lot, but then I got to a point to where I wanted to teach this work. And I really wanted to teach it outside of my career in multi-level marketing. And so the first thought that came to my mind was, man, you need a mentor. And so I started reaching out to, some of the thought leaders that I knew, all men, by the way, and I shared my vision with them. And, I got some great feedback. However, it wasn't quite what I was looking for, but I decided that I was going to have a coach and a mentor. And so all of a sudden I started getting sponsored ads popping up on Facebook and Instagram. And I would click on some of the profiles, they wouldn't resonate with me. And then your ad popped up. And when I saw 8-figure coach, I said, oh, okay, there's somebody with some results. And just looking through your page, all the comments and everything, I said, well, she can't be fake. Nobody can buy this many, positive comments about their work. And so I reached out and I didn't know if you were going to respond or not. I just said, I don't care. I'm going to reach out. If she responds, great. If not, I'm going to keep it moving. But you responded. And I shared my vision with you. And you mentioned this is not the first time that this has been brought to me. It actually happened a couple of years ago, but now I'm in a place where I'm open to entertain, this idea. You said, however, we need to make sure that our energies align. And so you invited me to Malibu, California, booked the flight. As soon as we got off the phone, sent you my itinerary, and we met. But the persistence came in after we met, because for 2 weeks, we didn't connect. And I'm reaching out and I'm like, it's too late. You're not getting away from me. You're my coach. You're my mentor. And we're going to make this happen. And you never confirmed. But 2 weeks later, we got back on a call with you and Chris. And it went from, I want you to mentor and coach me into my 8-figure coaching and speaking business to, I want to be a part of Diamond Academy. I want to be a part of a vision that is bigger than myself. And when you told me what your vision was, I said, game on. So, persistence is what I know. And I'm just so grateful that it pays off.
Yeah, and I just want to show this. I want to show this actually. The story is actually a beautiful example of the power of this work in action, because I started having probably like 6 to 8 months ago, I started really having these intuitive hits. God was really saying that this material is really, really important and needed and powerful for men, and that there's a way in which I can do that and support men that's going to be really, really impactful for men, and yes, I've served so many men over the past 4 years, and especially like one-on-one clients. I've had several one-on-one clients that are men that have had extreme success. It's been really fun, but I think that there's an even bigger way for us to do that. And so when I start thinking that way, I get introduced to Michael Jex, reaches out to me. I get introduced to Demond. I start having a conversation with Darren. Somebody connected Darren and I, and it was like, oh, and then, as Josh, actually, you're going to hear from him next. Josh started by purchasing a program for his wife. And then he took the program himself, came to my retreat. And it's just, the four of you came so beautifully into the energy. But I had an idea in my head that was formulating, and everything I needed to fulfill the idea came in just as I had asked, which is the power of this work. So this wasn't me going out and trying to find people. It was the actual attraction and it moving in. So how has this spiritual side, adding to like the peak performance or mindset world, changed things for you? So what's your experience of this work?
This work has changed everything. Yesterday where we were on the Zoom, I found myself doing this a lot. And I pick at this callus on my hand that I had probably since I've been about 9 years old. And my stepdad was what you would call a workaholic. And I remember, when my mom's friends would come over and, they would be telling my mom, oh, Kenneth is just such a hard working man. And everybody talked about how hard working, he was. And, I was like, well, I want people to talk about me like that. So I'm going to become a hard worker, just like my stepdad. And I got on that path of working hard.
Mm.
I remember in my network marketing career in 2011, I had my sponsor at the time to say, Coleman, you're one of the hardest working people in my organization. He said, no, wait a minute. You're one of the hardest working people in this entire company. But until you learn how to master belief, you would never go as far as you want to go. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Just show me the plan. What is this mastering belief? What is this all about? And the belief was looking within and not going without. And going within, and the common question I'm seeing in the comments was, how do you go within? Well, you go within by downloading a new program, because the one that we've been taught, the one that we've applied, has only gotten us so far. And so I just became an avid student of personal development, listening to audios, reading books. As a Man Thinketh is one of my top 3 favorite books. I actually have a good friend of mine on right now recommended this book to, and they haven't been able to put it down. But like Jack said, it's a reminder, of what it is that we, need to do in order to get to that next level. So for me, it's been the inner work of personal development, listening to, calls like this, listening to audios when I drive, and really just creating a new program.
Yeah, yeah. And that's so important because if we're, it's like we have this computer program that's running in the background that we're completely unaware that it's there. And it's like a virus. It's like this computer software that we don't want, we don't like, that's actually ruining everything. And all we have to do is become aware of it and put a new one in. And then once you do that, you become this very different version of you that will start to experience a different life. So yes, you will see increased business growth. You will see yourself make more money. You will see your relationships become more loving, passionate, and amicable. And you will start to love yourself more and see the beauty that's around you instead of the displeasure, the kind of disgruntledness. I was at the airport yesterday, Demond, and I had these 2 women behind me. And I became so aware of how different I am because the type of conversation that they were having, I didn't even want to hear it anymore. Like they were talking about their coworkers and how they don't know how to do their job and they're this and they're that. And they were just speaking so negatively about other people in their workforce. And I was reminded that I don't talk about people like that anymore. I don't talk about how things are going bad and how things aren't working out and how I was wronged or hurt or talk negative about other people. Like I'm actually living in a place of like, let's talk about how incredible the world is and everyone else is and how we want to help more people and things like that. So I gave them a bit of my light. I just said hello to them and so nice to meet you. Where are you from? And gave them some of the light and I just pulled them out of it a little bit. But they don't know that they've got this pattern and program, that they have this experience happening and they're creating it, right? So anyway, Demond, I'm so grateful for you and your persistence and for you coming on today and for speaking and sharing a little bit of your light with everybody. You've accomplished some big things in your life and more big things are coming your way. Stay in this work and, as a man thinketh, so he is, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Demond. I want to bring up Josh as well right now because Josh, we had to pivot. We moved the day around a little bit. Is Brooke on as well today? Is she on? Okay, beautiful.
Oh yeah.
So Josh and Brooke have been beautiful members of the Diamond Academy family, and they have contributed to our community in such a strong and powerful way. And I think probably everybody in Diamond Academy knows you. And not from being on the team, like they were students. So Brooke took Modern Mentor and then Josh is in Millionaire, and then they came to Anguilla to the Rise retreat, and the two of them went all in at that retreat. They got uncomfortable, they got vulnerable, they shared, and they grew. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. And now Josh is here with us, and he's going to assist us with the men's work here at Diamond Academy. And we are so grateful to have you, Josh. But why don't you intro yourself a little bit and share what your journey's been like since being in this work and in this energy?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you to Darren, Michael, Demond. It's hard to follow you guys. I've been in Kathleen's energy and community for just over a year, but it started, as she mentioned, with my wife. And I'm probably going to get emotional, but that's one thing I did learn with being in this group. It's a safe group. We can't get emotional. But so Brooke had started talking about Kathleen, and we just got married in September, and she's done personal development. I've kind of been interested in it, but didn't know where to start. So Brooke kept going, kind of want to get in this Kathleen's energy. I want to check her out, see what it's about. Well, she had a call with another manifestation mentor, and I got the contact information. Without Brooke knowing, I had signed her up, and we had gone out for dinner, and we were not married yet. So we went out for dinner, and we had a conversation around finances. And when you're not fully married yet, that can be kind of difficult. Well, it wasn't the best conversation we had. So when we got in the car, holy cow, I had said, hey, I got a surprise for you. And so she's over here crying. That's why it's killing me. But I told her, hey, I got a surprise for you. Remember that Kathleen lady? I didn't even remember her name. But I said, I got you a surprise. You're going to do this course. So long story short, got a video, shared it. She started doing the course, and I found it interesting. I found it interesting because she was growing, and the conversations we were having were very different. So I started to do, quote unquote, the course with her. To me, me doing the course meant listening. I wasn't doing the work. Like, are you freaking kidding me? You want me to write down my thoughts on a piece of paper? No way. I'm not doing that. Like, that's not happening. But after seeing what she was doing, I started to jump in and say, okay, I can kind of do this. And then one day I went and said, I need to jump in. I'm going to do the millionaire course. I've never spent the money to invest in myself, never spent the money to do personal development. And so it was completely new, uncomfortable, but I had the faith. And not necessarily, when I say the faith, not necessarily in God, but yes, but also in the faith that I know it's going to come back to me and it's going to do it. So I signed up for Millionaire, jumped all in, and I did the damn work, which was really hard. At first it was hard, but then it got easier and easier, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And now I love doing it. Most mornings I'll sit and write my gratitude. I'll read, which that before wasn't there. But after being in this work, Brooke and I, without even realizing it, are very powerful manifestors together. We had manifested each other. Didn't even know. Brooke would tell you, she had manifested me and she wrote everything down. We had manifested the house that we're currently in. I mean, we wrote down, we wanted a house in the neighborhood so the kids didn't have to start new schools. We wanted a home in a cul-de-sac. We wanted a home that could fit all 5 of our kids. We found it. I mean, it was crazy how easy it was for that to work out. We wanted a boat, but we were saving, because we weren't ready or couldn't afford it. And guess what? We bought the boat. And then we took another step. We went to Anguilla and just really dove in because everything is just working out. It's not hard. It's been easy. So I was a tennis pro and personal trainer for 15 years. I always was around wealthy people. And I taught tennis in the Hamptons, taught tennis in Greenwich, Connecticut, New York City, Charlottesville, Aspen, Vail, all the places where people go to vacation. And I'm always around it, but never thought I was worthy of that income. I didn't know how. I wasn't smart enough. As soon as I got into this community, my whole mindset shifted, and I started making more money than ever before. And I started from tennis, I went to healthcare, and I was working for 5 different healthcare startups doing sales. As soon as I had the belief that I was worthy and I could do this, I didn't have to go to be a doctor to make sales in healthcare, I started flourishing. And we took such a step that we quit our corporate jobs. Brooke's still a realtor, but we quit our corporate jobs and started our own company. And now, when we were in Anguilla, I spoke to Norm, Kathleen's father, if you guys aren't familiar, and told him we need a men's group. I don't care how I'm involved, whether I'm taking the course, leading part of it, I don't care, but I need to be involved. Norm was like, okay, Josh, see what happens. And if you don't know, I'm going to shout out to Norm. We're part of the Handsome Brothers. You'll get to know that. But as a little joke. But now I'm going to be part of this group. So excited to have a spot for all of us guys to get together and be vulnerable like I am now. Like, I mean, usually it wouldn't happen. I'll get on my motorcycle, get on the cruiser. Let's go play some tennis. Let's go play some basketball with the boys. Let's go, hang out. But what I've gotten from this really is Brooke and I can communicate so well. It is such a powerful thing to do with your spouse, and be able to communicate and connect with them on this. It is unbelievable what happens when you have the faith in God that I can have whatever I want. And I got to stop letting others tell me I can't have something.
Yeah, Josh. And I truly do believe that emotion and showing emotion is strength. It's power. It's directing your energy towards knowing what it will manifest. So when you become emotional because life is so good and you're so proud and you're so happy and you're feeling all the love that's around you, what you're creating from that energy is more of the same. It truly is more of the same. And so this safe space, like you just made it safer for every man on here to express emotion as well. And it's so good. And June is Men's Mental Health Month. And the highest numbers of suicide are the men's group, the men's category. And there's something to be said there when we're talking about emotional state, when we're talking about mental health, our feelings and how we feel about us and how we feel about the world. It's not something that we should be dismissing anymore. This is a powerful conversation and it's part of manifestation, but it is not weakness. It is strength. And that really helped me to shift the belief around that. You'll notice as soon as somebody starts to get emotional, what's the first thing we want to do? Oh, sorry, guys, sorry. No, let it out, experience it. This is what I teach my kids. Reagan, I always tell her, tell me what the emotion is, honey, and let's let it out. And so sometimes she's like, I want to get angry, mom, and I feel like I want to cry, mom. And I say, okay, let's work it out. Let's let it move to and through so we don't hold it. So there will be some healing along this journey for some of these men, right, Josh? There will be some
Absolutely.
allowing yourself to move through this energy in a different way. And somebody put in the comments, you need LGBT couples. Oh, of course we've had that. We have had anyone and everyone in this course. It doesn't matter where you live, where in the world you are from, what you look like, what your sexual orientation is, your gender, your age. We have people that have been signed up for this program that have been like under 20 years old, and we have some that are in their late 70s that have been in this work. So we do not discriminate. All souls are welcome. We welcome you home. Let's say that. Josh, for anybody that's listening today, what would you say from, the Josh that you were before to the Josh that you've become now? What would this Josh now say to the old Josh?
Don't wait. Do not wait. Sign up immediately. Don't worry. And this is going to be a hard one to hear for some people. Don't worry about the investment in terms of the finances. It comes. It comes. And if you have to do something and put it on a credit card, you have that damn credit card there for a reason. And it's not just for a rainy day. Invest in yourself, because that money is going to come back. But more importantly, the amount of growth that you will have because of this is amazing. The old Josh would have said you're full of shit. That's straight up. Yeah. But now I totally believe it. Every morning I wake up and Brooke and I will sit side by side. She's doing her morning routine. I got my morning routine. Sometimes our routines are different. I like to go to the gym, and when I'm on the treadmill, that's my time to meditate. It's my time to think about my end result and be there every day. But I'm just saying, if you guys are ready, don't wait, go now. And I too had another mentor before Kathleen. It was a guy, and he was full on masculine. You guys may have known him as the Muscle. He's been on Discovery Channel with the Diesel Brothers, and I signed up for him. That was great, but it didn't get to my spirituality and my growth in terms of that. It was very do. And like Kathleen said, if it's hard, make it easy. It's meant to be easy. It doesn't mean you're gonna sit on your ass and not get the work done. We all need to take inspired action. And maybe today that inspired action is signing up for this course.
Yeah, beautiful, Josh. I think what's so beautiful about that too is it's not about believing in what I have to say, but it's about believing in an elevated human experience for yourself. And if you are someone that has experienced a life where you have your own suffering going on in your mind, I know many of you have. I had depression, was on medication. I've been suicidal in my life after I had my second daughter. And I look back at that time and I realize that there was an escape from it, but the answer was always me. And I wanted it to be outside of me. I wanted, more money would make me happier. A bigger house would make me happier. A nicer car would make me happier. No, it all comes from within you. And when you heal from the inside out, all those things will come. But it's believing in an elevated human experience for yourself and a life that you truly desire and following the light towards it. And I always say, if we can be that light for you, we're so grateful too, but we're getting uncomfortable alongside you. You better trust, like we're doing the work. Yeah, we're doing.
And I'll share one more thing. Part of it is sometimes as men, we don't like to share our feelings, right? And I kind of mentioned that before. But one of the things I did, which was huge for me, and I only did it just last week, was I invited some of my buddies to the event. And what I think I was more afraid of was their thoughts of, oh my God, what's he inviting us to now? But that was the only limiting belief that I had. So yes. 2 of them are on today. My dad is on.
Is she making you cry again? Brooke.
Good Lord. But anyways, enough of that shit. I need to get on the motorcycle, go do something masculine or some shit like that. Anyways, I appreciate those guys. So that was my own limiting belief, that they didn't want to hear it. And we all need that. And as men, we need somewhere we can go and just count on each other. And I think this is just the perfect place.
I agree. I think it's a beautiful, perfect place. And you just express balance so beautifully, right? You're feeling your emotions, you're feeling that softness, that vulnerability, and then you're like, okay, let's get on the motorcycle and do something masculine. So this is what's different for men. Like for a woman, I'm not going to be like that. Like I'm going to be okay staying kind of in that energy for a little bit longer. But it's the balance between it, and for me too, like, listen, I'm very feminine. I'm in my feminine action and spiritual, like even me teaching, I'm in my spirit right now. I'm in the feminine, but I'm taking masculine action. And I'm the CEO of a company that's done almost 30 million in revenue in 4 years. I've got masculine energy, you guys. It just presents itself differently, but it's the balance. And that's why I want all of us to have that balanced approach. And through learning about yourself, you learn your own inner balance that brings you the most to your life. Josh, we're so grateful to have you. Thank you for sharing your light. Brooke, thanks for making him cry. Perfect.
He won't be in here next time.
And you know, we even have women that are in this energy that don't cry because they were taught that that's a weakness. And so if you ever come and join my energy and you cry somewhere and I celebrate that you're crying, it's a good thing. Trust me. It's because you're finally opening yourself up to feel the wholeness of who you are and the wholeness of the human experience that's here. And it's growth and it helps and it serves. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to talk about what we're going to present to you today, the new men's embodiment sessions. I'm going to share with you in a few moments, but let me know how you guys would feel about a guided visualization. So this is a very spiritual practice. This is my #1 business tool, visualization. So if you want to do a guided visualization, then let me know in the comments in the chat, and then I will do that now. It's a quick one. It's about 4 minutes. And this is what I mean by entering into the spirit. This is important. Visualization is magical. Tapping into your imagination is the feminine work. It is the spiritual side of this work. So most of us have a vibration that matches the outside world. So what that means is I'm observing world happening outside of me and I'm reacting to it, and my vibration, the energy that I hold, is matching it. So life is okay. I'm vibrating on an okay frequency. But I want you to learn how to create your vibration from the inside so it impacts the outside. So I want to create a vibration in you of empowerment, of inspiration, of motivation, that life isn't just okay, that you're at your brightest, lightest, most powerful vibration, because the outside world will change according to that. So visualization is a way in which you can raise your vibration, convince yourself of a new idea, and literally believe that something is possible that you've never witnessed. It'll put you in a state of faith. Your mind does not know the difference between a past memory, what you're actually experiencing right now in the 3D world, or an idea or a visualization in the imagination. So the subconscious mind just believes what you give it. So when you replay a memory, a past memory, your mind thinks it's happening again. So your vibration will match it. You're convincing yourself. So you're replaying the trauma, the bad experience, the emotions all over again, and your vibration will match it. When you're reacting to your outside world and you're observing, you're going to create that reality within you. But when you go into your imagination and you experience something there, your mind thinks it's real. It becomes convinced of its truth. And whatever the mind believes will conceive. I think that's the way Bob says it. So everything starts as an idea in the mind and moves into the physical form. So let's do it. It's just about 4 minutes long. If you start to feel called to check your phone, check your email, get up and go get a drink, go to the bathroom, notice what you're noticing. Why am I avoiding this right now? It might be the masculine energy. Stay here and just do it. Give it a go. Try it on for size with me. It's only 4 minutes. You can do it. Okay. Okay. Close your eyes, please. I don't like to have any legs crossed. I like to have an open channel, my vessel wide open. I put my palms facing up on my lap in receiving mode, and nice and relaxed as much as you possibly can. And here we go. Start focusing on deep breaths. Nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. We're getting the music going here, so just keep focusing on those breaths. Just sit nice and relaxed. There we go. Okay, so deep breath in and out. And with every breath, I want you to relax your body as much as you can. So every exhale, release tension. So soften your eyelids. Relax your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. chest relax. Let that abdomen rest. Let your legs be heavy. And soften your feet. Nice deep breath in and release. Now on the screen of your mind, I want you to visualize your ideal life. So this is a place that exists where you have everything you've ever wanted. The success, the income, the joy, the happiness, the peace, the experiences that you want, the travel, the freedom, the ability to give to more people. This is it here. And I want you to look around and notice what you see. Who is with you in this moment? When you're celebrating this beautiful life you've created, who is there? And in this moment, you have everything you've ever wanted. How does it feel? Are you happy? Are you grateful? Do you have pride for everything you've done? What does it feel like to have accomplished it all? What are you grateful for in this moment? Now, I stay in your visualization and find on the wall and walk over to that and look at yourself from head to toe. This is the version of you who has everything they want. This is your most empowered self, your most inspired self. This is the version of you that takes action, that makes decisions, that believes in themselves, that knows their power. This is the version of you that did it. Notice the expression on your face in that mirror. Are you smiling? Are you happy? Are you grateful? Are you proud? Let yourself feel that. Let yourself really feel that and bring yourself back. Okay. Put in the chat how you are feeling. If you're not comfortable, put it on a piece of paper, please. This is an important part of the visualization. It helps to solidify it even further. So whenever anybody messages me and shares a win with me, I ask them, how does it feel? And the reason I do that is because manifestation is about feeling. So in order for you to call in the experience of being proud of yourself, you must feel proud now. In order to call in the experience of being a successful version of you, You must feel success now. And this is where visualization is a very, very powerful act to put you into the vibration and the receivership of everything you want. So imagine now walking out into this world, feeling the way you feel today. What's your toroidal field like? What's your magnet like? How powerful are you now walking out into that world? Very different. I got very emotional and thankful, peaceful and grateful. I feel an immense sense of satisfaction and pride, such happiness and a sense of freedom. Oh, and that was within you all along, Corey. Corey's in our millionaire program. He's going to be on our embodiment calls starting the second week of July. Beautiful, joyful. I'm in total awe. The vision of myself is beautiful. See, Calvin, you just remembered who the heck you are. In a simple 4-minute visualization, you were reminded who and what you really are. The vision of myself is so beautiful. Yes, it is. 100%. So amazing, blessed, and grateful that I said yes. Relaxed. I feel accomplished. I feel empowered and grateful, proud, fulfilled, refreshed, fired up. Fired up. That is inspired action, Duke. So when Damon said we take inspired action, when Josh said inspired action, that's what this is. So the forcing energy, imagine this. You don't think you've achieved enough yet, and you feel some kind of way about it. So you go and you hustle and you grind and you work more to try to make the money, to try to make things happen. I got to go hustle because it's not happening. That's the common way most people are. But here we are over here going, well, heck no. I'm really inspired. I believe in myself. I'm empowered. So I'm going to go and work because I want to. I'm going to go work because I think it's going to work. I'm going to go reach out to people, do this, serve, because I feel really good about myself today. 2 different places. So it's not the action, but it's the energy behind the action that matters the most. Wow, I needed that. This part has been lost for a while. I am so grateful, Joel, that you're coming back, that you're remembering this. It's been there the whole time. You're just remembering it and bringing it back. So I know we've only got about 15 minutes. So I wanted to share what we're doing over here at Diamond Academy and why this men's vision has been so important for me. I am a woman who truly, truly wants to serve anyone everywhere. People ask me, do you have a niche, Kathleen? And I'm like, no. Like, how can you niche down the power of this work? How can you niche down something that is for everyone? How can you limit the messaging? And so I've truly, truly been called to serve millions of people through this work. And those millions and millions of people need to be done in different ways, in different strategies, and to serve in ways that feel safe for everyone. And so there's a lot of coaching programs that are entirely and strictly for women, and they're towards female empowerment and all that kind of stuff. And I don't resonate with that. That's not for me. I don't just serve women, and I don't want to just elevate women. I want to elevate humanity. And that truly comes from a higher spiritual perspective and awareness, because it's not about just a certain group. It's about everyone, and everyone impacts everyone so much. So this men's vision now coming into light, it's really beautiful. This is a manifestation for me of an idea that came to and through me that has just completely been reiterated to me over and over. And now we're here, which is really beautiful. And so the way in which we want to do this is that we really want to serve in a way that makes every single man that comes into Diamond Academy feel safe and feel supported. And it doesn't mean that it's an unsafe environment, but it is the most safe, integral community that can be created for the good of this work. And so in partnership with my dad and with Chris and with all of Diamond Academy, we've created a men's embodiment session as part of the Millionaire program. So my signature offer, my #1 course and program, we have hundreds of people in the Millionaire program right now, is a life-changing healing journey of self and personal growth and transformation. We have individuals, we have corporations, but we also have couples that are in the program, have been through the program, and it is truly life-changing. This work, it will change you. And so the Millionaire program right now has 3 components to it. I have a course, the Millionaire course, that I recorded professionally in studio, 12 lessons. and a workbook. It is a beautiful journey of personal growth and development. And yes, I'm going to get you to write out your thoughts. You know, when Josh said, oh, she's going to get me to write out my thoughts. Oh man, yes, I am. And it's going to change your life and you're going to thank me later. But yes, it's a full workbook, and it's called Millionaire Program because what does it feel like when you say you feel really good? You say, I feel like $1 million. And so this is the power behind this program. It's getting you to feel like that elevated, ascended, whole version of you, the most powerful version of you, and to live a really incredible human experience. All of it, all of your human, not just certain parts and turn others off. No, we're going to experience the wholeness of who we are. I also teach every Wednesday in the Millionaire Program live. Today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, after this, I'm going to be teaching something that I haven't taught before, and it's something that has come to and through me, and I should probably get onto copywriting it and trademarking it before I talk about it live publicly, but it is something around our thoughts, and so I'm going to be teaching my new way of talking about thought regulation. I'm going to be teaching it on Millionaire today at 1:30 p.m. and I'm excited. So any Millionaire students, you're going to get this as I'm learning it and creating it. I'm going to teach it. So that's today. So I teach that every Wednesday at 1:00 p.m. And then we have embodiment sessions with my team. And the embodiment sessions are group Zoom sessions, virtual, where you come on and you embody a curriculum of ideas and ways of being and existing that allow you to come together in small groups and grow and embody it together. So you're not just going to listen to my lesson and then go on with your day. You know, Josh said that's what the old him would do. Come on and listen to Kathleen teach and then go on with my day and just keep being the same version of myself I've always been. No, we want to embody it. We want to move it into the body. We want to integrate it. We want to be it. We want to live according to it. So these are the embodiment sessions. So I do 6 embodiment sessions a week. Well, my team does. And they're all run by women. And they're incredible, powerful women that have learned from me and taught this material for years. And they are the embodiment of this work as well. But we recognize that there's an opportunity for us to have an embodiment session that is ran by men only, and that is attended by men only, and that has a separate men's curriculum. So 6 of the 12 weeks are the same as the female curriculum because it's the same information, like visualization, affirmations, how to use this work are all applicable. But I've created additional curriculum specifically designed for men. And so some of the curriculum is going to be how to tap into the grounded masculinity. So that it will be an embodiment session. So those are Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. And those embodiment sessions are going to be ran by the men in Diamond Academy. So you're going to see Chris on the calls. You're going to see my dad, Norm, on the calls, Josh, Demond, Michael Jacks, Darren Gibson. You're going to see Robert Smith on those calls. You're going to see Tommy Engel on those calls. All members of Diamond Academy are going to be on the men's embodiment calls. And some of the curriculum as well is going to be grounded masculinity. We are going to talk about how to emotionally regulate. So men will talk about their emotions with other men. So you don't have to come onto a call that's 90% women and feel out of place. You'll come onto a call that will be masculine energy. How big do these groups become? Because I want to make sure everyone has enough time to comfortably share. So we run 7 embodiment sessions right now. And I would say the biggest groups become about 20 to 30 people on a group call. But given that this is our very first launch of the men's embodiment, this is probably the smallest these calls will ever be, and then they will grow. And what we do is we add more of these calls by the more amount of men that sign up. So, if we get to 100 men, 200 men, sorry, not if, when, I know it's inevitable. So once we get to 100 men, 200 men, 1,000 men in our community, we will add more of the sessions. Yeah. So we really watch it. We pay attention. I also have a client enrichment coach, Deb Lays, in the Millionaire Program, and she's there as support as well for all of you in the course. I've had a phone call. My volume is low now. I'm not sure. Maybe log out, Stephen, and come back in. But yeah, so the embodiment sessions are group sessions, and they're there for you to expand and grow and embody the information. What else is in the men's embodiment curriculum? Tapping into the feminine and what that means, how to add spirituality into your routine. We're also going to talk about faith. Men I have found, have historically just been a little bit harder to believe in the unseen And I don't mean believe in a higher power. I mean, believe in your manifestation before it's seen, right? So, well, wait a minute. I don't see any proof of it. I can't see any signs that my manifestation is coming, so I'm not quite sure it is. No, you got to convince yourself it's done without seeing any signs. That's faith. True faith is knowing that it's on its way to you, even if you can't see it. Because all manifestation occurs on the invisible plane first, before any other plane, right? Corey, so the men's embodiment session is Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the men's embodiment call will be added to the embodiment calendar. So everybody that signs up for Millionaire gets the same calendar with my times and with the embodiment times. So you can go on as many embodiment sessions as you want. You can go on the general stream embodiment sessions, or you can just go on the men's embodiment sessions. Jason, we don't record the embodiment sessions because they are personal in nature. So because people are sharing some of their greatest vulnerabilities, we don't record them. We prefer that you come on them live. It's important for that reason. We've recorded some here and there if we think that it would be helpful. And then also, if there isn't a time that works for the men's embodiment session, you can go on to any of the other embodiment sessions. They're still powerful. They're still incredible. We've had men have incredible results with the I call it the regular stream embodiment sessions, but we're just adding a men's option. Where do you find these sessions? So once you sign up for the Millionaire program, which is a group coaching program and community, you will get access to my live teachings weekly and the link to the embodiment session, and you will have a back office with all your course and program details. We have embodiment sessions 6 days a week, Jason. So we do have some on the weekends. We have some in the evening times as well. So we've really tried to accommodate all time zones in all areas of the world. So we can find a time for you that would work for you, Jason, for sure. And my live teachings are always recorded. So you never have to worry about mine. You will always get my live teachings, and you actually get the replays of my live teachings too. You're a musician. Oh, I love that. We use music in manifestation as part of everything we do. It is so powerful. Vibration, energy, rhythm, lyrics, like spoken word. It's powerful. I love that you're a musician. You will love this. You will love this. Any other questions about this in the chat? So let me tell you what we've decided to do. Yes, all of the students go into a private coaching community Facebook group. You have a library, which is like your back office where the course is held. And you will also have opportunities to meet people, mastermind. You're entering into a community of people that all want to be their best, that want to become their best. It's very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. So right now we've created a beautiful offer for all of you men that want to join us. So just until the end of the month, so till July 1st, we are going to be offering you $1,000 off the Millionaire program. So a pay in full or a payment plan option. So we're absolutely making it an irresistible offer. It would be silly not to jump into this and not to sign up for this and enroll for this. This is the first time we've done this, but it is powerful. We've been running the Millionaire program for over 3 years, and the testimonials that we have with this program, it actually brings me to tears, the ways in which this program is changing people's lives. So if you want to become a part of it, please reach out to a member of the team. If you haven't heard from anybody, tell us right now in the chat, and we will get you connected. Everyone from my team should have sent you an email. If you didn't get it, it might be in your junk mail, but fill out the success support form. And then anybody that decides to jump in today, who makes a decision to do it today, I will send you a special gift. I have something for you at my house that I actually gave my team as a gift as well, that I'm going to give to anybody that decides that they want to sign up for the Millionaire program today. Any other questions? Did I miss anything, team, about this beautiful offer? Reach out to Darren, Michael, reach out to Josh, reach out to Demond. They're here to support you and help you get enrolled into the program, and then they will be running the embodiment sessions. So Darren's going to be in there, and he's going to be supporting you guys on Tuesday afternoons. Josh is going to be in there supporting you guys Tuesday afternoons. Demond will be in there. I won't be on these Tuesday calls because I'm a woman. So we want it to be a safe space for men. So if you want your life to change, if you want to expand and change, you just let us know. And if you're feeling some sort of fear around it, or you want to, but you're not sure how you can do it, get on a phone call and have a conversation with somebody from the team. They'll help you. We have other options that we can support you. This replay will always exist on YouTube, so you can go watch it anytime. I would also like to join the Millionaire program. Oh, Desiree, then join. You can have the same offer. Any women that want to enroll, you can have the same offer. If you also want to enroll as a couple, we have a special combo price. So reach out to us, please, about what that is. So if you're a husband and wife, or any sort of partnership or couple, we would be happy to support you with a couple's price too. So lots of opportunity, lots of ways to shift your life. We're going into the middle of the year. We're coming up to July 1st. So these next 6 months can create an entirely different 2020-25 for you if you decide that you want to make that decision. So I know a couple people have said they'll see us on the calls. So congratulations and welcome anybody that is going to be joining Millionaire today. We're excited to have you in our community and for things to shift drastically. Any questions, reach out to the team, please. Thank you so much, everybody. You can also find us at info@diamondacademy.ca or on my Instagram as well. Thank you. We're going to end with a song because we always do. Music is so important. So I thought, what would be a good song for us to end to in a little bit more of a masculine energy, and that kind of excited vibration. So we don't have to stay for the whole song. You can listen if you want. Oh, YouTube, I got to tell you what song it's going to be. Hold on. What did I send Jen? Because YouTube, we can't play it. We don't have the rights. What's it called, Jen? A Good Life? Yeah, Good Life by Kanye West and T-Pain. That's what we're going to play. So if any of you are on YouTube and you want to go listen to that song and get into the energy, go ahead. Just a little example of, a song that I think would be good for you guys to listen to at the time. Yeah, good music always. Anyways, if you want to join, we're here to serve. We're here to support you and we're here to help you. So anyways, or I'm Not Afraid from Eminem. There we go. We'll use that one next time. What a good one. Not Afraid by Eminem. Yep. What you listen to matters. It makes such a difference. Anyway, take it away, Jen. Let's listen for a